Hi, I'm Gerard Virga, and welcome to the Florida Family Law Attorney Podcast. And we're very honored today to be speaking with Tasha Jackson from the Gulf Coast Advocacy Center. It's my understanding that she works in trauma therapy, works on treatment plans as a program coordinator, that she's real integral in the Lawrence Kids Walk that's coming up this Saturday. It's, just an honor to have somebody on the podcast with your background and all the things that you do for our community. So I just want to thank you for joining us today. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to give yourself a brief intro to the audience and introduce yourself and tell us about all the wonderful things you do for the children in our community.
Well, thank you for that introduction. That's very, very kind. My name, as you said, is Tasha Jackson, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker at the Gulf Coast Children's Advocacy Center. And I am the program coordinator for our trauma therapy program. We provide trauma therapy for children that have been victims of crimes. And then we also provide trauma therapy for adults that have a history of child sexual abuse or were recently sexually assaulted. Our CAC is very unique that we also have the Rape Crisis Center. So we're able to work with children and also with adult survivors of sexual trauma. We have 26 people on our team that cover Circuit 14, and there are no cost for our services. We're here to support the community and help victims turn into survivors and then turn into thrivers. That is our goal, is for children to reclaim their childhood and for adults to reclaim their life.
Well, as a family law attorney in our area, I just can't tell you, thank you enough for all the work that you guys do, your involvement in making a difference in so many kids' lives. I don't think outsiders who are outside of the family law realm or maybe outside of the court system have any idea of how prevalent these problems are. And sometimes there's a scarcity of resources for people who have really gone through trauma at that level, and it's critical, and it'll affect how the children's life go forward, even into adulthood. Like you pointed out, that there's lots of repercussions that happen due to childhood trauma, and I think the law and science are just now really figuring out how deep that affects the person from obviously people, think of it as being a mental, issues that arise. But I'm at our last CLE on trauma and family law courts. One of the big issues that really, stuck out to me was actual physiological problems that manifest in adulthood, sicknesses, diseases, where
Absolutely.
children have been placed in trauma at an early age. Our hat goes off to you here from the Family Law Attorney Podcast, the Virga Law Firm. And we're just so honored to be able to support you guys and anything that you guys do that helps the children in our community. And one of the things that we're really excited about is Lawrence Kids Foundation Walk this Saturday, April 26th. And it's my understanding that you're the mastermind kind of behind the walk. So this is an opportunity for you to explain that, how it benefits the community, how you can get involved with it, and how much fun it is, and while helping the children in our community who face these issues. So I'm going to let you, brag about yourself again and brag about your event, and hopefully some of our listeners can join us on this wonderful walk.
Yes, I would love that. So Lawrence Kids has been doing the walk. They've done it for the last 10 years. So this is their 10-year anniversary. The walk, Lauren Book is a survivor of child sexual abuse. Her father is a lobbyist, and she actually just completed her 2 terms as a Florida senator. She created Lawrence Kids back in like 2010 after she was sexually assaulted as a child and started noticing the things that were missing, the loopholes. And because of Lauren and her father's advocacy over the years, there's been over 24 laws that have strengthened the repercussions against predators, against who perpetrate against children. So that the way that they have taken something that was very horrible that happened in her life, and they've turned it into a platform for them to fight for others and not only for themselves. So she started the walk years ago to signify her journey of healing, and she started it at her childhood home where she was sexually abused by her nanny for her childhood. So she started there and she ended in Tallahassee on at the Capitol steps, because that's where change happens. And it manifested into this walk that now she starts from Key West and she walks across the entire state, and she ends again in Tallahassee. So Panama City, our little Panama City, I will brag on us because we have always had the biggest turnout. We beat Miami, we beat Tampa, we beat Orlando. No one can beat us. Like, Panama City has always shown up and been there. Like, we've had, I think the highest before Hurricane Michael, we had 600 people.
Wow.
If you look, like, there are not that many people at all these other walks. Like, we are it. And Lauren has made that clear. Like, she loves Panama City. So The walk is special. Lauren started the walk to like for her healing, and her idea was to pass the torch on to the other communities because she knew that one day she wasn't going to be able to do this. And starting in 2018, 19, and 20, she walked a different way. She didn't walk across the state. Panama City continued to walk. We did the walk every year, regardless if Lauren's Kids was here with us or not. And we have always had a great turnout. Lauren's Kids Foundation are very special to us. As you know, we all lost a lot during the hurricane. Hurricane Michael, Lauren came down and saw the devastation that happened to our trauma therapy building. And I remember I was walking with Randy Perkins with Ashbrit. He came and I remember him looking at me. We were walking. He said, "So the storm, how long were you guys not able to do therapy?" And I said, "A what?" And I said, he goes, "Like a month, like 2 months." And I go, "No, like the next week, as soon as they let us over the bridge." And he goes, "Well, what do you mean?" I go, "We went to their house, whatever was left." I said, "We were sitting on trees. We were in parking lots." I said, "We brought ourselves to the kids and the families." And he was so amazed by that, that between him and Lauren's Kids, they donated $1 million and redid our therapy building. So
Wow.
that was so amazing that she saw that this was our place of hope and healing, and the storm wasn't going to stop us. Like, we were going to do whatever we had to do. Like, we were going to go where we had to go, sit on a porch. Bees were attacking us. It's like, we're the healers. We're going to bring it to you.
Well,
So
I think that, ties in very nicely with our community. And I know that we're very big on, giving back to the community. The law firm, the podcast now is going to be doing little shorts like this about community events that are coming up to get the information out and to make people aware of events that are, interconnected to family law. But, one of our themes here at the firm and here on the podcast is resilience. And just this week I was a guest on a podcast, and that's what we were talking about was the hurricane and how it brought out the best in all of us and our resilience, and that we didn't wait for things to happen. We just made them happen one way or another. And a lot of times people joke around about the panhandle of Florida, but I think it showed everybody that we were go-getters, and we will do it on a tree stump with bees. We will practice law out of our cars with our OnStar internet or whatever it takes to continue to be resilient and help people out. And I think it speaks volumes to our community and how serious our community takes children's issues. Now Panama City, you got to do your part. We got to keep our record. But if we have listeners down in South Florida, Central Florida, and I know we have some in the Western Panhandle for sure. If you guys, could find out when that walk might be occurring in your area, we'd appreciate the competition because all support for these kids everywhere is welcomed. So
she's in Pensacola tomorrow. So Pensacola
Pensacola
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
Panama City on Saturday, and Mariana on Monday.
We have an office in Pensacola, so I will see what they could do. A lot of those paralegals kind of get off early on Fridays anyway, so maybe they could make their way out there to support the Pensacola crowd, and that would be wonderful. I think everybody should be out there, calling attention to this because it is a very serious problem. And while the court system and the people like you who support the court system and support the children are there, nothing beats the whole community being there and bringing all those resources to bear to really, bring this to the forefront and ensure that it gets the funding that it needs. Because I'm sure the Children's Advocacy Center, from the buildings to the staff to the treatment that people receive there for free, all requires funding. And the best way to have funding is to get the community involved and let the people in Tallahassee know how important it is, and let the people in the community who may be interested in donating know how important this is. So,
Absolutely.
what are the details for the Panama City Walk? What time is it, and where do we go, and how do we sign up, and how do we participate?
All right. So you go to Lauren's Kids website, so laurenskids.org, and they have the registration on there, and you can choose the location. Registration will start at 8:30 on Saturday morning at the Gulf Coast Children's Advocacy Center at 210 East 11th Street, and we'll start walking at 9:30. The plan is a 2-mile walk, and it will be a loop. We'll start at the CAC and we'll end at the CAC. And then we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then we're going to go out for 5 more miles up 77, and we're going to continue to walk. The important thing of being seen in this group of people with this bus, and we're saying that it's okay to tell. We're telling everyone in our community. We're telling children that have not told yet. We're telling adults that have never disclosed what they have experienced, that it's okay for them to tell now, or anytime that it happens. And we're also letting perpetrators and people that hurt our children know that we are an army and that we're all out here to protect and support kids, and that we believe. That is the important thing, is we believe, and we're here to support you. So it's a very powerful moment to see the sea of people in teal walking down the street during Child Abuse Awareness and Sexual Assault Awareness Month and saying, like, we're here for you. We're going to walk for you. We're going to stand with you because we believe you.
And the walk occurs in April for that reason, right? That's the actual Child Abuse Prevention and Sexual Assault Awareness Month, correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
So if you can't make the walk, but you want to do something at your business or your house, I mean, is there like flag colors you can put out? Is there something you can tie to the mailbox to show
Yes.
support? All right,
So
what is
pinwheels
that?
for prevention, you'll notice around Panama City, there'll be a lot of pinwheels. Those are for prevention. We do those every April. The color teal is sexual assault awareness, and the color royal blue, like I'm wearing, that is for child abuse awareness. So you'll see a lot of blue and teal during this month. So that's the important thing, is just, and if someone shares with you an experience that they had, just listen. And that's the most important thing, is to listen and believe.
Well, the Virga Law Firm, which is the firm I own, and now through the podcast, we've always supported the GCAC. We've been there for, I think, every designer purse bingo.
So we got one tomorrow night.
I don't think my wife would let her miss one for anything. That's a lot of fun. If you guys are out there listening, and whether we're having one in our area, I know sometimes y'all have them out a little bit to the west, and other areas are having them. That is a great time for anybody who's interested in winning a purse. It's my wife. It's the high point of her year. I think when they have those every 6 months or so, where you guys get together, play bingo, and then I know that we sponsor purses, other law firms sponsor purses, other people in the community. I know that we've done toy drives and at Christmas and stocked you guys up with some more toys during that time of year. And we've
And
done
what's
back to
important
school.
too, and I think a lot of people don't know this, and I recently, someone that donated toys at Christmas, it hit me because he brought a bunch of toys and he's like, I'm sorry, it's so close to Christmas. And he was afraid they wouldn't go to kids. And I said, you know what's amazing is we have a storage unit we put these in. And when we have families, kids have birthdays, and some families don't have it. We can go over there and shop and get gifts for parents to give for birthdays or special events that they may not be able to do. Anytime, toys are always welcome because we're always wanting to put a smile on a kid's face.
I know one year we did a back to school event. I think you guys got some backpacks and other items that the law firm was able to get up and donate. I think people, don't really understand how important the partnership is between businesses and other charitable organizations in the community and the Gulf Coast Advocacy Center. Can you tell us like how stronger partnerships would benefit GCAC and how other businesses or other community groups could get involved to assist?
Absolutely. And it's important for our community, us all working together. And I think that's what makes Panama City so strong when it comes to advocacy. We have partners like you guys, like, we got Virga Law, we've got the state attorney's office, we've got law enforcement, we've got churches, like everybody coming together because the whole goal is to protect childhood. So the more that we work together, the more that we're going to strengthen the children, strengthen the families, and give them the support that they need. Something that may seem so minuscule, like a toothbrush or some shampoo that you may donate. That's something that's huge. That's something that can take a mother who is struggling to put food on the table, that it can take that stress away and help her. And those are things that we can do because of the community support that we have. And I am so proud of our community because we have always, like you said, with the storm, there was some ugly things that came out of the storm. We all know that. But I saw so much beauty. And I just thought of Mr. Rogers when he said, it was a quote where he was talking about there was a lot of chaos. Look for the helpers. And that's what I saw. I saw so many people, so many helpers, and so much beauty and just resilience. And it's just amazing that our community, we're able to do that. And together, that's how we're going to continue to thrive. So whatever, you can reach out to the main CAC. Every little bit helps, coming and helping us at an event, just coming and seeing what we do. So you know the resources that are available to the community. We are the Children's Advocacy Center, but like I said, we have the Rape Crisis Center. So any adult that's out there listening, if you're a survivor of child sexual abuse, a recent survivor of sexual assault, there are resources available for you at no cost and confidential. We provide therapy regardless. You can be 97 years old and you were sexually abused at 3. We are here to provide advocacy and therapy to help you because at any time it's okay to tell, and we're here to support you.
Yeah, that's just such a beautiful mission statement. And purpose, and yeah, I can tell one of the things I've been really on a kick about lately is what is your why? Why are you doing this? What's motivating you? Why do you go practice family law? Why do you work in at the advocacy center? And just talking to you for this brief, a few minutes, it's so obvious that your why is here, so near and dear to your heart, and that your why is your community and your why is the children in the community and the other victims, and that you want them to know that there's somebody that they can confide in and lean on. And
Absolutely.
that's critical, and it's a very beautiful purpose for the for yourself, for your life, and for the community. And it's a great mission statement, really, for GCAC. And just talking with you, it's you can talk about businesses and organizations and alignment of values, but it's just so obvious that speaking with you here today, that your values are so aligned with what that organization stands for. And I think that's a testament to the team that Lori Sanford has built over there, and how cohesive you guys are. And you're all over the place. You're always something going on with the advocacy center to help somebody or help children. And that's just a testament to what a great organization you guys are when it comes to children. And it also kind of reminds me, you're talking about the community. I remember a few years ago there was a high school senior who had a high school, community service project. It's one of these magnet school programs that required some kind of a community service project to get the either the IB or MAPS program or one of these programs, ACE program maybe. And it just was so heart wrenching because she came in and asked if we would help her and support her. And what she was doing was just something that was so simple, but it was not anything I'd ever thought about, even though I had worked in family law for years. She was basically putting together care bags for children who got fostered in the middle of the night or sheltered, with toothbrushes, pajamas, mouthwash, deodorant, just like overnight bags, but with, and then she was trying to put a stuffed animal or something comforting in there. And I think that says a lot about our community and your organization, because your organization had caught this little girl's attention as she was, graduating.
Oh,
Y'all had brought awareness to, to the issues to her, and she was doing something about it to change it and to improve it. And, if we all chipped in and did our part, what a beautiful community we would have. It takes a full team, a village of people, to help children, to raise children. And I think what you're showing everybody is it takes a village to protect them.
absolutely.
And, that's just speaks volumes, and it's very heart touching. So legal professionals out there, because hopefully we have some other legal professionals listening to the Florida Family Law Attorney podcast. What can they do in our area or in other areas to support you specifically as legal professionals?
Think that just getting with us, like you guys get with us, find out what we do, and see how we can help, because you may have families that need our services. Many times we do find through, not through like the normal channels that we would get referrals that of people that need services, but just knowing what we have and knowing what's available to the families that you guys are working with, knowing what services can help them and what's available. Just make an appointment to come get a tour of what we do, see for yourself. I think coming down to the advocacy center and really seeing what it is that we provide, seeing like what the family go through, really helps someone understand what it's like to be in their shoes and what they can do to better support.
I think the first time I went down there, we were unloading a U-Haul full of toys for Christmas. And when I went through the front doors, the very first things that I kind of noticed was I was expecting kind of very clinical, cold building, honestly, with a lot of unpleasant memories surrounding it for a lot of people. And when I went through the doors, what I found was a very warm, very kid friendly, a very cool place, even though it does, unfortunately have to exist for purposes that we wish didn't happen in our community. But I couldn't imagine a better atmosphere with better resources and honestly, just really warm and caring people, as soon as you walk through the door. It was different than any type of other government agency or a non-governmental organization I've ever walked into. It was really outgoing and warm and caring. And so if you're thinking that you might need to walk through those doors to talk to somebody or to start the first steps, I will tell you right now, if you decide to do it, if you get the courage to do it, to come and confide and talk and work through these issues, you're not going to find an uninviting place. You're going to find a place that you're going to feel really at home with, no matter what your age is or what your background is or what issues you're facing. So, as a dad of three, before we wrap up, will you remind everybody how to register, where they go to register, where they go to show up, so we could keep our record here in Panama City.
Absolutely. So go to Lauren's Kids website and sign up for the Panama City Walk. Meet us at the Gulf Coast Children's Advocacy Center on Saturday, April 20th at 8:30. We are going to have registration. At 9:30, we're going to be walking. Bring your walking shoes. It's going to be a great time. We'll have shirts. We're all going to be in teal. And if you want to be extra fun, you can, put some little things in your hair, a little tutu on, whatever, like really show out. We want everyone in the community to know that it's okay to tell and we support survivors. We'll also be doing a friendship bracelet exchange. So that's going to be fun. Our theme this year is in my healing era. So we have friendship bracelets. I've actually myself, I think I've made 1,200 bracelets because I am ready. That has been my motivation for the last month. So I'm capped out at 1,200, but we will have bracelets for everyone. I hope that I don't have enough for everyone. That would be amazing.
So you hear that if you're a younger girl in our community next year and you like to make friendship bracelets like a lot of the young ladies did when I was a kid, hopefully they're still into that and doing it. Something you can do right there to help volunteers to help make the bracelets for next year.
And you don't have to be a young lady. I'm a 50-year-old woman and I was making friendship bracelets. Like that was my life. Like I was very hyper focused on it.
And if you probably or been doing it that many years, you're probably even faster as you got it down.
I've never done it before April.
Really?
I
Oh,
just know
wow.
in March. I started making them in March. I've never done them. So this has been really, I'm like, this is very relaxing. Like yeah. So we'll have
Well,
plenty of friendship bracelets for everyone.
get out there, everybody, this Saturday. Put on your till, put out your pinwheels, do anything you can do to support the Advocacy Center, support Lauren's Walk. Let's make this happen for the kids in our community. Let's show our community what we're made of, that we are a resilient group of people, and we can show these people who have been faced with this adversity and this trauma that the community's there for them, that we encourage them along, and that we're going to take part in supporting them and their path back from that, and that we support their resiliency and trying to bounce back and deal with these issues, because they are tough issues. And I'm telling you, in family law, and somebody's been in the court system now for 20 years, it's very unfortunate, but it is also very prevalent. And it's something that, a lot of times people feel ashamed of, or they don't want to open up about it. And it doesn't come to the surface and they don't get the help that they need. And that's what's tragic about it. So this is our chance to do something about it. And it's something that goes on every year. So if you can't make it this year, next year, and get involved and make the difference. And Tasha, I just want to, thank you so much for taking the time to explain Lauren's walk to us, explain how to help, Gulf Coast Children's Advocacy Center. I'm not going to thank you for reminding my wife that tomorrow's Purse Bingo, because I hadn't heard about that. I have not heard about that yet, but I'm assuming I'm going to hear about that this afternoon or tonight when we get done here. But I'm sure she will be there with bells on. Just thank you guys so much from the bottom of our heart, the bottom of the law firm's heart, and anything we can ever do from the Family Law Attorney Podcast or the Virga Law Firm. Let us know. We want to support the families and children in our community. That's our really our sole purpose, to help where we can as well. And I just want to tell you thank you, and we look forward to seeing everybody on Saturday.
Well, thank you. And if I could, can I share the phone number for anyone out there that would like to call for therapy if they're a survivor of sexual violence?
Absolutely. Share any contact information that they can, any channel. Go ahead.
Perfect. So if you are a survivor of childhood sexual abuse or a survivor of sexual assault and you need help, therapy is available for you. You can call or text our referral phone number at 850-630-8166. And someone will be there and we can get everything started for you. So just give us a call or text us and we can call you. So just know that there is no shame and there is help for you.
And Tasha, we'll put that in the comments on the podcast and on the video as well. For anybody out there who didn't catch it, you can look in the comments. We'll have it there as well. Thank you, Tasha, for everything. And if you need that number, don't be afraid to use it. The first step, is always the hardest, but it could be the first step to healing. And that's what we're here for.
Well, thank you for
Thank you,
having
Tasha.
me.